All right. The book of Nehemiah. Nehemiah's prayer, chapter 1. The words of Nehemiah, the son of Hachaliah. And it came to pass in the month of Chislev, in the 12th year, as I was in Shushan the palace, that Hanani, one of my brethren, came, he and certain men of Judah, and I asked them concerning the Jews that had escaped, which were left of the captivity, and concerning Jerusalem. And they said unto me, the remnant are left of the captivity there in the provinces are in great affliction and reproach. The wall of Jerusalem also is broken down, and the gates thereof are burned with fire. And it came to pass, when I heard these words, that I sat down and wept and mourned certain days, and fasted and prayed before the God of heaven, and said, I beseech thee, O Lord, God of heaven, the great and terrible God, that keepeth covenant and mercy for them that love him and observe his commandments. Okay. God of heaven keeps his covenant and mercy for them that love him and observe his commandments. Let thine ear now be attentive, and thine eyes open, that thou mayest hear the prayer of thy servant, which I pray before thee now, day and night, for the children of Israel, thy servant, and confess the sins of the children of Israel, which we have sinned against thee. Both I and my father's house have sinned. Acknowledging his sin, so where the mistake is, and how now to correct it. But first you must confess and acknowledge the problem before you can combat the problem. They use that in drug and alcohol therapy, or in the 10 Commandments of AA. Children of Israel, so who are the people? They have sinned against God. Both I, my father's house, have sinned. Okay? We have dealt very corruptly against thee, and have not kept the commandments. So where were they at fault? They didn't keep the commandments, nor the statutes, nor judgments which thou hast commanded thy servant Moses. Okay? Remember, I beseech thee, the word that thou commandest thy servant Moses, saying, If ye transgress, I will scatter you abroad among the nations. But if ye turn unto me, keep my commandments, and do them, though there were of you cast out unto the uttermost parts of the heaven, yet will I gather them from thence, and will bring them unto the place which I have chosen to set my name there. Okay. And just for additional information, God chose to set his name there in Israel. That is real. I watched Chuck Missler, and he went into one of the 24-hour Bible, learned the Bible in 24 hours, and he showed a map. And somebody else did this too. Showed a map where the actual letter of God, which means God and that is God, in the form of a symbol and a letter, is actually there in Jerusalem, or Israel. Not Jerusalem, but is in Israel. It looks like some kind of like three-prong thing. It goes through the river and all these different places. Anyways, moving on. Now there are thy servants and thy people, whom thou hast redeemed by thy great power and by thy great hand. O Lord, I beseech thee, let now thine ear be attentive to the prayer of thy servant, and to the prayer of thy servants who desire to fear thy name and prosper, and pray thee thy servant this day, and grant him mercy in the sight of this man, for I was the king's cupbearer. Okay. Nehemiah's request, chapter 2. And it came to pass in the month of Nisan, in the 20th year of Artaxerxes. Yeah, I'm saying it wrong every time. The king, that wine was before him. And I took up the wine and gave it unto the king. Now I had not been beforetime sad in his presence. Wherefore the king said unto me, Why is thy countenance sad, seeing that thou art not sick? This is nothing else but sorrow of heart. Then I was very sore afraid. So he knew Nehemiah, and he knew him good enough to know he could see those telltale signs. You're unhappy. Why are you unhappy? And what can I do about it? This is the king asking the cupbearer, so he had respect for Nehemiah, and he liked Nehemiah. Okay? So that's a good thing to note. He was a good guy. Even a king wanted to see him happy, and it made him unhappy to see him unhappy. He cared for him. Then I was okay. There was nothing else but sorrow on the heart. Then I was sore afraid. Wherefore the king said unto me, Why is thy countenance sad, seeing thou art not sick? There is nothing else but sorrow of heart. Then I was very sore afraid, and said unto the king, Let the king live forever. Why should not my countenance be sad when the city, the place of my father's sepulchres, lieth waste, and the gates thereof are consumed with fire? Then the king said unto me, For what dost thou make request? So I prayed to the God of heaven. And I said unto the king, If it please the king, and thy servant have found favor in thy sight, that thou mayest send me unto Judah, unto the city of my father's sepulchres, that I may build it. And the king said unto me, the queen also sitting by him, For how long shall thy journey be, and when wilt thou return? So it pleased the king to send me, and I set him a time. Moreover, I said unto the king, If it please the king, let letters be given me to the governors beyond the river. Beyond the river again, there we go. That they may convey me only till I come into Judah. And a letter unto Asaph, the keeper of the king's forest, that he, may be given timber to make beams for the gates of the palace, which appertained to the house, and for the wall of the city, and for the house that I shall enter in. And the king granted me according to the good hand of my God upon me. So he still acknowledged that it was God that really got this ball going, and actually, he was doing God's will. All right, Nehemiah's inspection of the walls. Then I came to the governors beyond the river, and gave them the king's letters. Now the king had sent captains of the army and horsemen with me. When Sanballat the Horonite, and Tobiah the servant, and the Ammonite heard of it, it grieved them exceedingly that there was come a man to seek the welfare of the children of Israel. So I came to Israel, and was there 3 days. And I rose in the night, and some few men with me. Neither told I any man what my God had put in my heart to do in Jerusalem. So he kept it a secret. Jeez, what's wrong? Do I have a hole in my freaking lip? What's going on? Anyways, so he didn't tell anybody. Kept it a secret. Neither was there any beast with me, save the beast that I rode on. And I went out by night by the gate of the valley, even before the dragon well, and the dung port, and viewed the walls of Jerusalem, which were broken down, and the gates thereof were consumed with fire. Then I went on to the gate of the fountain and the king's pool, but there was no place for the beast that was under me to pass. Then went I up in the night by the brook, and viewed the wall, and turned back and entered by the gate of the valley, and so returned. And the rulers knew not whither I went and what I did, neither had I as yet told it to the Jews, nor to the priests, nor to the nobles, nor to the rulers, nor to the rest, what did the work. that did the work. Then said I unto them, Ye see the distress that we are in, how Jerusalem lieth waste, and the gate thereof are burned with fire. Come, let us build up the wall of Jerusalem, that we have no more a reproach. Then I told them of the hand of my God, which was good upon me, as also the king's words that he had spoken unto me. And they said, Let us rise up and build. So they strengthened their hands for this good work. But when Sanballat the Horonite and Tobiah the servant, the Ammonite, and Geshem the Arabian heard it, they laughed at us to scorn, and despised us, and said, What is this thing that ye do? Will ye rebel against the king? Then answered I them, I said unto them, The God of heaven, he will prosper us. Therefore, we his servants will arise and build, but ye have no portion, no right, nor memorial in Jerusalem. Okay. The rebuilding began. Then Eliashib, this high priest, rose up with his brethren the priests, and they builded the sheep gate. They sanctified it, and set up the doors of it, even unto the tower of Mia. They sanctified it unto the tower of Hananel, and next unto him builded the men of Jericho. And next to them builded Zakur, the son of Imri. But the fish gate did the son of Hassanah build, who also laid the beams thereof, and set up the doors thereof, and the locks thereof, and the bars thereof. And next unto them repaired Meramoth, the son of Urijah, the son of Koz, and next to them repaired Meshullam, the son of Berechiah, the son of Meshezabel, and next unto them repaired Zadok, the son of Bana, and next unto them the Zekoites. Okay. And the Zekoites, huh? Well, where was I? Anyways, the next unto them repaired Melatiah the Gibeonite, the Jadin of Merathite, the men of Gibeon, and Mizpah unto the throne of the governor of the house on this side of the river. So this was on this side of the river. Okay. Next unto him repaired Uziel, the son of Harhiah, of the goldsmiths. Next unto him also repaired Hananiah, the son of one of the apothecaries, and they fortified Jerusalem unto the broad wall. And next unto them repaired Rapaiah, the son of Hur, the ruler of the half part of Jerusalem. So, yeah, Hur was the ruler of half of Jerusalem. And next unto them repaired Jediah, the son of Haramath, even over against his house. And next unto him repaired Hattush, the son of Hashabaniah, Malchijah, and son of Harim, and Hashub, the son of Pahath Moab, repaired the other piece, and the tower of the furnaces. And next unto him repaired Shalom, the son of Helohesh, and the ruler of half part of Jerusalem, he and his daughters. So his daughters were helping. So yes, there were equal rights for equal opportunities for people back in those days, apparently. Even the women could help. Oh, half part. Oh, yeah. Let's look at this right here. Him and his daughters. More than likely, he didn't have any sons. So he was using all of his children. He's using his children to help out. And since he didn't have sons, more than likely, he just used his daughters. And that's why his daughters are mentioned. The valley gate repaired Hanun, and the inhabitants of Zanoah, they build it, and set up the doors thereof, and locks thereof, and bars thereof, and 1,000 cubits on the wall unto the dung gate. But the dung gate repaired Malchiah, the son of Rechab, the ruler of part of Beth Hakerem. He builded, and set up the doors thereof, the locks thereof, and the bars thereof. But the gate of the fountain repaired Shalom, the son of Kolhozeh, the ruler of part of Mizpah. He builded, and covered it, and set up the doors thereof, the locks thereof, and the bars thereof, and the walls of the pools of Siloah by the king's garden, and unto the stairs that go down from the city of David. After him repaired Nehemiah the son of Azbuk, the ruler of half part of Beth Zur, unto the place over against the sepulchres of David, and to the pools that was made, and unto the house of the mighty. After him repaired the Levites, Rahum the son of Bani. Next unto him repaired Hashabiah, the ruler of half part of Keilah. In this part, after him repaired their brethren, Bavai, I don't know. I have no clue. Lord, help me learn how to pronounce these names, please. Thank you. The son of Henadad, the ruler of the half part of Keilah, whatever. The next to them repaired Azer, the son of Jeshua, the ruler of Mizpah, another piece over against the going up to the armory at the turning of the wall. After him, Baruch, the son of Zabai, earnestly repaired the other piece from the turning of the wall unto the door of the house of Eliashib, the high priest. After him repaired Meremoth, son of Urijah, the son of Koz, an other piece from the door of the house of Eliashib, even to the end of the house of Eliashib. And after him repaired the priests, the men of the plain. After him repairing Benjamin and Hashib, over against their house. After him repaired Azariah, the son of Maaseiah, the son of Ananiah, by his house, and him repaired Binui, the son of Henadad, another piece from the house of Azariah, unto the turning of the wall, even unto the corner. Palal, the son of Uzziah, over against the turning of the wall, and the tower which lieth out from the king's high house, that was by the court of the prison. After him, Pedaiah, the son of Parash, moreover the Nethinims dwelt in Opal, unto the place over against the water gate, towards the east, and the tower that lieth out. After them, the Tekoites repaired another piece, over against the great tower that lieth out, even unto the wall of Ophel. From above the horse gate repaired the priests, even one over against his house. After them repaired Zadok, the son of Immer, over against his house. After him repaired also Shemaiah, the son of Shechaniah, the keeper of the east gate. Ridiculous. I sound ridiculous saying these names. After him repaired Hananiah, the son of Shelemiah. Oh my God, that's not what is going on. Shelemiah. Okay. Hanun, the sixth son of Zalaph, another piece. After him repaired Meshullam, the son of Berechiah, over against his chamber. After him repaired Malchiah, the goldsmith's son, unto the place of the Nethinims and of the merchants over against the gate of Mifkad, and to the going up of the corner. and between the going up of the corner unto the sheep gate repaired the goldsmith of the merchants. Chapter 4, Defense against a conspiracy. Where am I at? Okay. But it came to pass that when... Oh, wait, let me get some coffee. Let me water my lips. Okay, chapter 4. I'm ready. But it came to pass that when Sanballat heard that we builded the wall, he was wroth, and took great indignation and mocked the Jews. Okay, so this is a good part to start looking at typology. Alright, so it came to pass when Sanballat heard that we builded the wall, so they built the wall, he was pissed. He was a pissed off cookie. And he took indignation and mocked the Jews. Obviously, he mocked the Jews that actually helped build the wall. And they were the ones that I think everyone was in unison. They were of one people. And he spake before his brethren and the army of Samaria, and said, What do these feeble Jews, will they fortify themselves? Will they sacrifice, and they make an end in a day? Will they revive the stones out of the heaps of the rubbish which are burned? So he doesn't want the Jews to get back to what they were doing before. Sacrificing, which is the atonement. The only difference between the old covenant and the new covenant is Jesus Christ. So the old covenant had the same structure. It was a leading up to. This is typology. Okay? So if you don't understand your Bible, then you need to understand your Bible. There is no difference other than the implementation of Jesus Christ that came, died, fought, conquered, and now is in heaven and is our high priest. Okay? So now the sacrificial offerings, they had different sin offerings and all that kind of stuff. And so before, we had to sacrifice, as a people of God would have to sacrifice different animals. Okay? Everybody knows that. Burnt. They would burn it. They would take, fat offerings and all this other stuff. Now, we don't have to do that anymore because that part is done away with because of Jesus. Okay? So now it's once and for all. He came for not some, but all the world did Jesus come for. He died for you. Okay? So they don't want these people, the enemies of God's people. So this is typology here. This isn't just speaking to these people. This is speaking to people of God. Anybody that wants to do God's will. Okay? So what will they do? What are their problems? Look at what their problems are. First off, they identify who these people are. In this particular case, it's the Jews, but this is typology for people, God's people. So who would the people of God, God's people, will they fortify themselves? So they don't want God's people to get strong. And how do we get strong with God? We learn the word, we absorb the word, we implement the word in our life, and we teach others. So we learn, study the word, and then we go out and we teach the word, the truth, to set people free from the bondage of sin and the death of sin. All right? And they don't want the sacrifice. So the sacrifice in this one is their temple, and they're sacrificing animals. But in us, it would be they don't want us to believe in Jesus. So if you believe in Jesus, people are going to mock you and going to laugh at you. But Jesus already said that my way is not easy. And he already said all this. There's typology all over the place. Just pay attention. Okay. So they mocked and they gave indignation. And what were their worries and concerns? They don't want you to fortify yourself. They don't want you to believe in Jesus. And they don't want, what's this? Will they make an end in a day? They don't want you to stop working. They want you to keep going. What are you talking about? There's a break. No, you don't stop on the Sabbath day. We want you to work on Saturday. Don't follow those covenant, that rules, the commandments by God where you get to stop and take a break and recover and recalibrate. No, we want you to go crazy, do something, mess up. We don't care what it is. Just get stressed out so much and then we'll spank you and then throw you in a cell. All right, revive the stones out of the heaps of the rubbish which were burned. So they don't want God's people to rebuild. Okay? Because they fear God. Okay? So you got to look at the people that these enemies of God, who their master is. Who's their master? Satan is their master. Satan knows the truth, and he deceives all the people under him and rules with fear. Not the same fear that you see in the Bible with according to talking about God. That kind of fear is respect. The kind that you have for your father. You love your father. You respect your father. And when you make your father mad, you knew what you did to make your father mad. You were like, oh, I'm going to get a spanking for this. You knew before you did it, but you did it anyways. You knew the consequence. It didn't matter. You took you did your own thing. Okay? So it's not that kind of fear. Now, if you talk to a Satanist or a Luciferian, which I have, I know for a fact what kind of fear that Satan has under his people. It is an all-consuming darkness. There is no escaping. And if you do, you will die. It is just that simple. And it's not just you. They will kill you, your family, whatever you love, whatever you hold dear, they will kill it. And they'll look at you and you'll see the darkness in them. You think I'm full of it? I don't care. Because I can tell you the truth, but it's on you to believe the truth. Okay, moving on. Okay, so Tobiah, the Ammonite, was by him, and he said, even that which they build, if a fox go up, he shall even break down their stone wall. Now, a fox in the Bible, you need to understand that word. What is that gentleman's name? What is his name? There is a gentleman on YouTube, and for the sake of recording, I'm going to put this in here. Let me see here. YouTube. Forerunner. So the Forerunner Chronicles, he did a great video on foxes and what the fox really means in the Bible. So let's see here. Where is it? It's got a big fox on the video cover. So if you go to the Forerunner on YouTube, you'll find it. Okay? Anyways, moving on. If the fox go up, he shall even break down their stone wall. So, they're conspiracy theory. They're talking a conspiracy. They're trying to figure out a way to stop these Jews because they fear their God, and they fear what will happen if they get their walls built. What happens with a kingdom when they have walls? Oh, now you get to hide behind walls. Now you get to put archers on the walls. Now you get to fortify yourself. And now you could say, you can't come in here. We don't like you. No, you're not allowed to come in here. You know, and if you want to come into this God-fearing sanctuary, then you need to follow the commands of God. So the commandments, they make people that don't believe in the commandments angry. Because, well, they don't want to follow the commands. And it makes them angry because, well, okay, put it to you this way. Now, if say, for example, you don't believe in God. All right, so if I'm going to reach somebody out there and they don't believe in God. All right, well, then don't use the name of God in a day. Just try it one day. Just one day. Don't say, oh gosh darn it. Don't say, oh Jesus Christ. Don't use his name in vain. Okay? So if God doesn't exist, then don't use the name God. Don't act like, don't even say anything negative about him. If he's not real, if he doesn't exist, and you don't believe in it, and it's all complete rubbish, then why the heck can't you even get away from using the freaking word? Don't give me that garbage. You guys are all fools. If you don't want to believe it, that's one thing. Okay? But how about you take a look in yourself? How is it that if God doesn't exist, then how come all these important people, these smart people over generations that have been trying to prove that God is not real, the God of the Bible is not real, but every single time they look into it, all they do is prove that it is. And then they say, oh, well, yeah, let's sweep that under the rug. Let's get rid of that. And don't let anybody find this information. Just like the Jews nowadays, they say, do not, anybody that looks into the book of Daniel, let their fingers fall off. That's in their freaking pharisaical, rights to be a rabbi nowadays. Anyways, the fox. So the fox, look into it. If you actually want to look into a Christian person, whoever is listening to this video, you look into it. What a fox means in the Bible. It's interesting. They're deceitful. And, what is a fox? Okay, here, this is number 4:4, Nehemiah. Here, O our God, for we are despised, and turn their reproach upon their own head. So they're praying to God. They know that these people despise them, and they're trying to, they're plotting against them. And who do they go to? Who do we need to go to? God. If we have a problem, we go to God, our Father. We don't take it by our own hand. What can we do? If some unknown assassin is coming after you, what are you going to be able to do about it? A really good assassin would be able to walk straight up to your face and you wouldn't even know it. You wouldn't know it at all. That's why they're a good assassin. Okay? And give them for a prey in the land of captivity. And cover not their iniquity, and let not their sin be blotted out from before thee, for they have provoked thee to anger before the builders. Okay? So they're asking for defense, and they're also asking for judgment. For the enemies of God. So build we the wall, and all the wall. Oh yeah, and nowadays people don't do this kind of stuff. They don't say, "Oh God, please help me." Especially, no, I'm speaking about in the church. Oh, please God help us as God's people. And on top of that, please destroy our enemies. Oh, that's hate speech nowadays. Saying destroy our enemies. First off, acknowledging that it's saying that there is only one God and speaking and giving deity to Jesus Christ in a public space, even if it's a church, is frowned upon. And if you do it incorrectly, can be hate speech. I don't care if you have a church or not. So build we the wall, and all the wall was joined together unto the half thereof, for the people had a mind to work. So the people wanted to work. They weren't complaining. They were happy to do this. But it came to pass that when Sanballat and Tobiah and the Arabians and the Ammonites and the Ashdodites heard that the walls of Jerusalem were made up. All right, so who were these enemies? Sanballat, we already knew that. Tobiah and the Arabians and the Ammonites and the Ashdodites heard that the walls of Jerusalem had been made up and that the breaches began to be stopped. So they plugged all the holes, and they were almost fully surrounded by the wall. Then they were very wroth. They were mad before, but now they're really mad, apparently. Okay, so now, and conspired all of them to gather to come and to fight against Jerusalem and to hinder it. Okay? So before, they were just laughing. And this is the same kind of thing you can see every single time. If you followed me last week, or if you have seen the Ezra videos, then you will see. Or if you've just read it yourself, it doesn't matter. You don't have to see mine. It's not like you wouldn't see it before. You would see the steps that the enemy would take. So the enemy, and God puts us in the Word for a reason, so that you can see it, you can understand it, and then you can see the signs when it's happening in real life. So the enemies, when they come at you, they're going to tell you. They might use fear tactics, or they might just do what they did right here. They'll mock you. They're going to say negative things about you, indignation, and mocking. Then when that doesn't work, now they're going to get really mad, and what are they going to do next? Well, let's find out. Nevertheless, we made our prayer, and was very wroth, and conspired all of them together to come and to fight against Jerusalem and to hinder it. So they went with words first, and now they're going to come out and they're going to fight them. They're gathering themselves so that they can fight. Okay. And to hinder it. Nevertheless, we made our prayer unto our God and set a watch against them day and night because of them. And Judah said, the strength of the bearers of burdens is decayed, and there is much rubbish, so that we are not able to build the wall. So they got to clean up. They got trash everywhere. I mean, what happens at a construction site? You need a person like Lawrence on a construction site, all right? You know, somebody who's humble and will walk around and clean up all the trash and be Scottie Pippen to their Michael Jordan, okay? Because how are you going to work if you got trash everywhere? You need somebody taking it and moving it out, okay? So humble yourself before the Lord and be grateful. Anyways, we haven't got there yet, but that, I believe, is a good point to put in. All right, so their animals are burdened. The bearers of burdens are decayed, so they're not as strong as they should be, and there's much rubbish, and they're not able to build a wall. And our adversary said, they shall not know, neither see, till we come in the midst among them, and slay them, and cause the work to cease. Okay? So this right here is what a fox is, okay? So, a fox, that was in 4:3, where it said, even that which they build, if a fox go up, he shall even break down their stone wall. So that was their plan. That was the setting for them. Okay, so now our adversary said, they shall not know nor see till we have come in amongst them and did our plot and struck. Okay, so they're in a send in a fox. Okay, in amongst them and slay them. So they want to kill people and cause the work to cease. So they went with words. They are laughing, and then they said, "All right, now we're just going to go in there and we're going to kill certain people and just make them out of fear, because that's what Satan does. He deals in fear." Okay, so if you don't do what I say, I'm going to kill you. Unless you have the hedge of protection, unless you're in God's will, he will succeed. And his ultimate goal is to kill you before you can even get to Jesus. He wants you to think that this is rubbish, and he wants to kill you in your transgression so that you'll be consumed by fire, by the wrath of God, and not be able to experience heaven and to experience God in his glory. And that's one of the things that's so horrible. There's many in this world, but one of the most horrible things is not understanding, and I didn't understand until I started looking into it, which everybody should do, the glory of God. What does it mean? I mean, can you imagine the glory of God? This God is so powerful that he will destroy anything that is sinful. He has covering cherubs or when he spoke to Moses, he was veiled. So he couldn't even see him fully, or else it would have killed him. Okay? So that's how wonderful. This is how glorious and powerful and mighty this God is. That he doesn't even need to do anything. Just him in his presence will kill you. Now understand, and not talking about physically, we're talking about a total complete annihilation here. You know, So when people go out and say, "Oh, we're gonna fight God," we're gonna do this. Let's get a whole bunch of people. Like, come on, Bobby, let's do this. You're like, it's ridiculous. It's complete and utter baloney, and you are totally deceived by Satan to believing that it's even possible. He knows that he's down. He knows he lost. As soon as Jesus Christ died and rose in the new covenant, he knew right then and there. That's why he was fighting to get into the bloodlines, to corrupt the bloodline that Jesus would come through. Because he knew as soon as that happened, he was done away with. He had to have known that there was a slim chance, and he had to have known that he was going to lose. But I think he is so consumed with hatred that anything that God creates, he wants to corrupt, ruin, destroy. He knows he can't win, but he wants to destroy as much as he can until he gets completely annihilated. So he doesn't care. He really doesn't. If he had the choice, he would kill you, and he does. And this does happen. Babies die. He wants to kill if he had his choice, he would kill every single person before they knew God. Okay. Let's take a break on number 12 and pause this. We'll go to number